Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, we know that Marvel's attempting to do a Fantastic Four movie, and considering the kind of curse on the Fantastic Four movies, majority of the time they don't end up panning out very well. And well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honestly just kind of sick of seeing Pedro Pascal, but whatever, we'll see how the movie goes. We've kind of heard some rumors from behind the scenes that that movie might end up being okay, but needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, the spoilers are coming in this video. I'm honestly not even entirely sure if this video will be allowed to be stayed up over on YouTube or not because of all the kind of spoiler stuff that maybe Marvel is not going to like so very much, but we're going to attempt it. We're going to try it. We're going to let you guys all know because we try to be here for some of the latest and breaking news that we can out there, ladies and gentlemen. So today we have something very interesting because according to these spoilers out there, if they are true, if these rumors and these leaks are actually accurate out there, we officially know who the villain will end up being in the Fantastic Four series, and we're already getting some looks from the set as well. So like I said, spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got this article over here from comicbookmovie.com. The Fantastic Four First Steps set videos confirms classic villain debut, boys and girls. So yes, this should be very interesting to see. Should be very interesting to check out and get into all the nitty gritty of what's going on in here because like I said, there's got some cool videos in here. There's got a cool little leak about all of this kind of nice stuff. But like I said, as a fair warning at the very beginning of this video, if you're already if you don't want to know, if you don't want to be aware of what this is going to happen, you don't want to be spoiled, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already before you head out. But for all the rest of you that are sticking out here, well, here we go. But before we get into all of these juicy spoilers, boys and girls, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, let us know what you think about all these leaks in the comment section down below. Does this get you excited for the villains coming forward to this? Do you not really care about this movie, or are you just going to kind of sit back and wait and see how it all ends up settling out? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, from comicbookmovie.com and our dear sweet Mark Cassidy. Some new photos and videos from the set of Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four reboot leaves little doubt that the movies will feature the debut of a classic Marvel Comics villain. Principal photography on Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four First Steps wrapped over the weekend, but some previously unseen photos and video from a temporarily abandoned underground set have now been shared online. The lightning map at the entrance of the set, obviously spoilers ahead if you're still here for some reason, the lightning map at the entrance of the set reads Subterranea, which leaves little doubt that the movie will feature the MCU debut of the very first villain the Marvel's first family faced off against in the comics, Mole Man, which honestly, going to throwback to that far, like sometimes Marvel doesn't really I think a lot of the people in charge of Marvel, I think some of them are some, I think there are some legitimate fans inside of there, but also some of the people making certain decisions, they're like, oh yeah, you guys want it like the comics, you want it like the comics, yada, yada, yada. So, but they go back and then they give us like Daredevil's like yellow suit, right? Which is like the most hated suit of all time. Fortunately enough, they fixed all of that kind of stuff for like the new series. It's going to be a continuation of the Netflix series, but at the exact same time, it's like, you know, at least they're trying. Whether or not they can actually succeed, at least like they're trying to throw things back to the OG stuff. So whether or not they succeed or not, we'll find out. But I guess it's something. I don't know. This vast subterranean kingdom consisted of a planet-wide network of caverns lying miles beneath Earth's surface. Though a number of characters and races have called this location home, these tunnels are where the Fantastic Four discovered the Mole Man and his Moloids. There's a lot of speculation that Paul Walter Hauser is playing Mole Man, but that has yet to be confirmed. And he does kind of have the look for it. Well, I mean, obviously they're going to do all kinds of makeup and all that kind of stuff. But here you can see the pictures right here, right? Pull them up over here on Twitter so you guys can see all of this stuff, right? So you can see the little glow right here. You got the lighting area. Obviously, this looks all subterranean Mole Man's lair, underground mine set for Fantastic Four First Steps. Obviously, Blue Moon is the code name that we're not 100% sure, but obviously this is probably what this is. It's the code name for all of this kind of stuff. Obviously, you can see Subterranea on here, all the lighting stuff as well. Obviously, you got the little pictures right here. It looks like you're obviously going into some kind of cave, so that's what we've got from all of that kind of stuff as well. Confirmed lighting map for Fantastic Four First Steps with Blue Moon code name, which obviously we already went over all of that as well. Fantastic Four First Steps film set. Now, this is kind of interesting. They've got some kind of just like traditional kind of like, I don't know, silly kind of fill-in music behind. There's not really anything we need to listen to, but you can see right here from the video, and this is right, what really might get us in trouble with YouTube is the set video, but obviously they've got themselves blurred out, but you can see a bus right here. It's also got like, what was like swordfish bus lines or something like that. Maybe some of you guys that are a little more familiar with the old school Marvel comics out there, especially like the Fantastic Four, maybe that, I'm assuming that's probably going to be some kind of Easter egg and all of that kind of stuff in there as well. But yeah, you can see all the lighting and and stuff like that over here. So this stuff's not really all that interesting other than it's like a giant subterranean cave set. But you've got, obviously you can see all the scaffolding going on. But yeah, this bus I thought was kind of interesting. Swordfish, it looks like bus line. It looks like it spells out swordfish here. But this actually lines up with like the classic retro that we were talking about with that we've heard the rumors spilling out about the Fantastic Four. And it being set in kind of like an alternative universe, like an area of like the kind of old school, what you would think of as like kind of like the old school fantastic, like the fantasy that we all thought we were going to be living in this time frame of quoted like the old future. So you still have like classic cars, but now you've got like flying spaceships. And so the technology is kind of mixed and matched. And this would line up perfectly with that. So it kind of gives all of that kind of stuff out here. So there's not really a whole lot else in here. They're just kind of showing off all the subterranean areas and showing off a lot of the gear. So obviously it looks like these boys got in on a closed set, which is probably trespassing, Ben, which we don't ever encourage. We don't ever encourage. We're just reporting on what happened. Obviously, we're not advocating for any kind of criminal behavior or any kind of trespassing or anything like this. And I mean, it's one of them situations where if you leave the door unlocked, you know, that's kind of what's going to happen. But yeah, you can see here, that's that little cave entrance right there that's on the set for the Mole Man stuff. But yeah, just obviously a big subterranean area. I mean, I do like the fact that this means they're doing it like with practical sets too, right? Like that's a good thing. They're actually like on location doing something. They're not just doing that thing where it's in like a giant green room and they're just CGIing everything absolutely in. They're actually putting some time and some effort in here to actually having to make like actual sets, which is always a good sign. We've obviously seen the disastrous dumpster fire that's been some of the crazy CGI stuff that we've had over the past. So the first trailer for the Fantastic Four is yet to be officially released, but there are a few leaked versions of various events, such as San Diego Comic-Con and D23 doing the rounds online. Joining Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards will be Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, aka the Visible Woman. Joseph Quinn is going to end up being as Johnny Storm, and aka the Human Torch. Eben Moss Parker, which came from The Punisher and the Bear, as Ben Grimm, aka the Thing. And it's one of them situations where, as well, like the casting outside of Pedro Pascal, I'm actually really happy with the casting. The casting's pretty spot on. I'm just sick and tired of seeing Pedro Pascal in absolutely everything. But other than that, the casting is pretty good. Like at least for that aspect of things, like they didn't race swap anybody. Like, hey, the old Fantastic Four movie did. How'd that work out for them as well? So Julie Garner will debut as the Shaw Ball version of the Silver Surfer, while Galactus also has been confirmed as the main villain. The Eater of Worlds will be played by Ralph Ineson, which is also another spot on too as well. And also the Silver Surfer, we know we're getting the female Silver Surfer, but some of the rumors that we'd heard out there, in case you hadn't already heard about that, is this real Silver Surfer, the OG Silver Surfer, Ayn Brand, will actually end up coming in there and kind of like saving her, because this is going to end up being Shal Bal is his wife from before he ended up becoming the Silver Surfer and all that kind of stuff. So the rumor is that the actual OG Silver Surfer is still going to be there, and he's going to come in at the end and like save her and, you know, help defeat Galactus and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens in that kind of version. But looks like we know we are also getting the Mole Man as well, which sounds like it might be a little bit too much in one movie if you're going to end up having Galactus in there as well. So we'll end up seeing all of this kind of stuff ends up going forward. But Kevin Feige recently confirmed the movie will take place in an alternate universe, but we know that Marvel's first family will appear in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, so we wouldn't be surprised if they find their way into the MCU timeline by the end of the movie. Shooting is now underway, and some set photos have started to show up online. So that's where we find ourselves at right now. This is all the kind of spoilers and the leaks. It looks like we're definitely getting Mole Man. Obviously, we already know that we're getting Galactus because that's what they've talked about. That's who they've cast and they announced stuff like that. But it looks like we're going to get Mole Man too. So it seems like there's going to be a lot of work into this. It sounds like we're going to get 2 villains in the movie. So we'll end up having to see how this ends up working out. It sounds like it might end up being a little bit of a convoluted mess if we're trying to do Mole Man and Galactus. But it also means that maybe Mole Man won't get all the proper attention that he deserves, like he should be, especially for his absolute classic era and like his place in the Fantastic Four lore out there. So I don't know. We'll end up seeing what happens with this one, boys and girls. This is not one I'm cautiously optimistic about in any way, shape, or form. At best, I might be considered cautious. And truth be told, considering the era of Marvel that this is currently getting shot under right now, where after the woke purge supposedly has happened, according to all the rumors coming out of people like Chris Gore and stuff like that Marvel did go through and purge all of their activists out there. It doesn't mean they're actually going to be able to tell a good story, though, and that's where I'm definitely more on the cautious side, if not downright kind of almost pessimistic about this Fantastic Four movie, because that's one of them situations we're going to have to end up going forward. This is going to be one of their first movies, supposedly pretty much entirely done after all of the purge that supposedly happened earlier this year, back in like March or something like that, because obviously like Prince of Photography and shooting still kind of ongoing with this movie as well. So that's what we've got right now, boys and girls. I have no idea if this thing's going to end up being good, but hey, here's the latest lower editions. It looks like we will definitely be getting Mole Man in the Fantastic Four movie. As to whether or not it'll be any good or not, boys and girls, we are going to have to wait and see, but we will for sure absolutely let you know as soon as we hear any more information when it comes to the Fantastic Four or all things Marvel, Disney, and what potentially may end up being a disastrous dumpster fire. But hey, at least we're getting Mole Man.